Hello, everybody. It's your lady, Joanna, coming from Anchorage, Alaska. My space in your place. Yes, go ahead on and like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. You know, I always count it a blessing every time you hit that button, even when you like. I was supposed to come live on YouTube and the other evening, and I changed my mind. It was called The Light Skinned Man. That was the name of the subject, if you saw the announcement that came on. But I had a change of heart because I want to have to change the title, and the feeling of what I was feeling, I didn't want to tell that story like that. Okay? In order to protect the memory of my son, my deceased son, because it kind of had something to do with him. The light-skinned man is his father, who I was talking about. But instead of saying that like that, I'm going to tell you about the greatest betrayal that I ever had in my life. Me. Betrayal. Go ahead on and like, share, and subscribe to my channel. This is your lady, Joanna, from Anchorage, Alaska. Okay? Here we go with this story. I hadn't started Tuskegee Institute. At the time it was called Institute. It's Tuskegee University now, but it was Institute back in the day. I had finished a year in Valencia Junior College. It's called something else. I think it's Seminole University or something in Orlando. But I went and I was accepted at Tuskegee in my second year of college. So I transferred to Tuskegee. But before I went to school, I was going to Panama City for the summer. Yeah, and my brother owned a restaurant, he and his wife, his family. And I went to, I think I worked in the restaurant. I did. I worked in the restaurant, making a little change, because I was getting ready to go to Tuskegee in my sophomore year. And it was two men, two airmen that had their eyes on me. And the light-skinned man just say he won out. Okay? And the next thing you know, I was dating him. Like I say, I don't call names, but it was my son's father. And he was an airman, young airman in this city. And so I had to go back home, going down south before college. And I went home. And one day, I heard my mother screaming his name. She was sitting there outside across the street with her girlfriend. And I was in the house, and I heard her call his name. And back then, they call all military people by their last name, and I just heard Adams. That's all I heard, Adams, real loud. I'm going, Like, why is she called it Adam's name like that? Honey, that was him. Well, he hadn't mentioned to me that he was even coming my way. I didn't even know he knew how to get to my house, but he found me. And he came to my house and talked a little bit. Next I know, he was on his knees proposing marriage. And then we went down to Miami to announce the engagements to his parents, his family, his sisters and brothers in Miami. And I was a sophomore in college. I hadn't started yet. And after we did that, we spent the weekend down there and announced the engagement. And we went, we came back to where I was staying, and he went on back to where he was stationed at. And I was engaged, and I didn't really want to be engaged. I'm going to tell you the truth. I really didn't. But back in the day, I don't know what it was. My mother and my brother and my family loved him more than me. Yeah, it was them. And so I figured, maybe I grow to love him, I guess. I don't know what it was. But anyway, I did accept it. And we started making plans and everything like that. And but I didn't want to marry until I finished college. But it didn't work out like that. The wedding had been put up to, we was going to get married before I finished college. And, because I guess we couldn't wait, all that long engagement. But anyway, I had picked out a wedding gown, the whole 9 yards, but then I was in college, Matter of fact, he took me and my family, we all of us were caravanning to Tuskegee. Yeah, him. My baby's father. And we traveled. And so my mom told him one thing before, when they dropped us off, asked him not to come up there bothering me. Let my daughter finish school, she said. Oh, no, I won't bother her. That was a lie. He did for a while. He didn't come up on campus or anything like that. But one day he did come up there. And that's when we had my baby. Yeah, I got conceived. And I had no idea that I was pregnant. Until one day, I was coming into the dormitory. And a bee, I'm allergic to bee stings, a wasp stung me right in my head. And I went into they rushed me to the hospital. And my roommate was with me. And we went to the hospital. And Tuskegee was, you couldn't be pregnant and living on campus. But they did have places outside of campus that if you're pregnant, unwed mothers, they call. But I was going to be married, so. But anyway, that's another thing. Let me get on. I want to skip. But where the betrayal came in at was when I got stung by the bee. Any incident happened on campus, they give you, just like now, they give you drug tests. Well, back then, by Tuskegee being like a private institute, they give you urine tests to make see if you're pregnant. Okay? So, Dr. Calhoun, if anybody looking at this, y'all remember Dr. Calhoun, Tuskegee University. Well, he said, young lady, I need to talk to you because we're going to have to call your parents and the den mother. And they told me that I was pregnant. I was with child. And that was my son, the one that passed away. But where the betrayal came from, it wasn't that when my girlfriend and I drove from Alabama to Florida and went on the Air Force base. I don't know, I could have, because I had a big afro wig on, and he had never seen me with an afro wig. And when we went into the barracks and everything, he didn't know who I was. I counted it, but I got, I was upset. So me and my friend, we left out. I was very upset. We left out and everything. I don't call that the betrayal. The betrayal was when, after the family found out, after I had told the family. Well, I didn't tell them right then. What got me, I was scared to tell my mother, to let her down. You know what I'm saying? My mother spent. I never had a student loan in my life. No student loan. I went to junior college in Lake County. As soon as I graduated, I went to Lake Sumter the whole summer. I went from school to Lake Sumter Junior College. And from Lake Sumter Junior College to Orlando. From Orlando, I was taking summer classes, and my mother paid for that. When I went to Tuskegee, I didn't have a loan. She paid for that. Because when my brother passed away, he left all that for me to go to school. My books and my tuition and everything. So I never had a student loan to repay. But anyway, that wasn't it. But my girlfriend was with me, and she's a witness to this, what I'm saying now. He didn't know me. He said because it was the afro wig. I can let that go. But the betrayal was, can you imagine you that hurt your mother, and you've gotten with child from this guy that everybody loved, crazy about, really, except you, really. But even though you was going to marry him, because he was the light-skinned man, against the other one that liked me, and the things that I was hearing that he was doing while I was pregnant, before I even told my brother that I was with child, that he was doing. And it was with his wife, the one he finally married after. But she didn't even know about me. That she told me that out of her mouth at my son's graduation. But the betrayal was that the great betrayal that somebody, my first hurt as a woman, was to be left at an altar with child, and my mother was hurt. And that was the greatest betrayal of my life. And my son, when a child grow up, they want to know the story, how you and daddy, because if you don't marry the man, they want to know, like, why you didn't marry my father? And so there you go with the stories, some ugly, some not so good, but they want to hear the good, the bad, and the ugly. But you don't tell them all the ugly now, because you try to, steal. You don't tell them all the ugly. You just tell them some of the stuff. But I want to know if it's any other woman have had the great betrayal that has been spent a lot of money for a wedding. Had to. I didn't drop out of college. I continued my education. I just left that state and went to Florida to complete. But this man, because I was going to sue him for what you call breach of contract. That's what it was. But he sat before my lawyer, my attorney, when we're sitting in the attorney, and he, when they wrote up the paper. He looked at my attorney, a white man, and say, so you mean to tell me I can marry her so that the baby can be born and the military can pay for the child, and after the child is born, we can get a divorce, and I won't have to sleep with her, and I'm pregnant. Yeah, that was the most hurtingest thing of my life right there. And you know, I hated him for a long time. I did. I hated him for a long time. But after my son was born, well, I did get my revenge. I had him arrested for child support. He said wrote my name in the jail cell, but that I didn't care. But I didn't care. I wanted him arrested. You know, I had to hurt him, because what he told me, that said that in front of a white attorney. But little did he know that my brother and this attorney had plotted on him. But I couldn't even go through with it. I was so angry. I jumped up and left out, and I blew the whole deal. He was not going to get no divorce like that. They had tied him up so, but you know what? I didn't care. I didn't even care. But I'm just saying right now, the betrayal, the joke, really was going to be on him. But I was so angry and hurt because I was like this, pregnant. And he's, you know what I'm saying, portrayed me like I don't have to sleep with her, and he just come up there on the college campus and got me pregnant. That hurt. But let me tell you something, ladies. You cannot. Do you know what the reason I'm telling this story? Because number one, I can, and it's because it's my channel. And I wouldn't have dare told the story while my son was alive. Yep. He's gone to glory now, and I had vowed that I was going to tell my story for the whole world to see. That my son's father betrayed me and humiliated me in front of a white attorney and said, you mean to tell me I can marry her and don't have to sleep with her? Now I'm pregnant now with a child. And then after the baby is born, the military can pay for the baby, and we could get the divorce. And all the time, my brother and the lawyer had plotted to take him down. That's what it was all going to be. But I didn't care anymore. I said, no, I'd rather see him behind bars, and that's what happened. I had him arrested after the baby was born. Yes. But anyway, that was the great betrayal, and that made my son feel some kind of way all his life. That's why I got to tell it tonight, you know, because it's Christmas time, you know. The favorite time of the season was my son's favorite. And I said I was going to tell this story. The great betrayal was the worst betrayal of my life, to have been gotten pregnated by my fiance, and for him to deny his fiance like that, to hurt me like that. And so, if anybody have ever been hurt like that, don't worry, sister. It don't last long. You know what I'm saying? The feeling that just so happened that my son is not here with me. He passed away in 2017, and his father did not even call him before he died. Yeah, that was the greatest betrayal. And but anyway, I love them. And like when he said, "Would you gonna name the baby after me?" No way in the world would I have named him after him. No way. You know, and I want to say I want everybody to have a Merry Christmas. And I'm gonna have that was the greatest portrayal. That was what it's not. And yeah, when I said the light skinned man, yes, that was. And back in the day, you know, it used to be the light skinned man. All this colorism. That's what made me want to do the show. It was because of colorism. You know what I'm saying? That caused me to even choose him over the other guy that I loved so much instead of him. Yeah, it's because of colorism that my family chose the light-skinned man. So that was the show that I was supposed to do, but I couldn't do it because it was not what I wanted to really say. No, I want to say that betrayal that hurt me, it did only just hurt me, it hurt my child. And that same betrayal that hurt me, it went down, all the way down to his son on his deathbed. It didn't even call on his deathbed or anything like that. And so I want to say that I'm happy you stopped by and that you had patience with me because I did put that up on YouTube, but I didn't want to go live on that. So I want to say I love you guys, and I'm going to do a Christmas show. And I would like to introduce you to some of my grandchildren that are up here in Alaska. I wish there was some way that I could show all of my grandkids, you know, how they could come in some kind of way, but I can't. But anyway, I'm trying to get something together, try to get a show for you. And everybody keep safe and keep prayed up. All this going on. Don't, you know, oh Lord, don't this social media, you know, about politics and stuff. If that's getting you down, try not to look at stuff like that. You know, I have to stop even looking at TV, like when it comes to that. So if you're my age and you can, you know, like can see all that, I know how you're feeling. Just go on and just pray and keep it, you know, keep it moving. Keep it moving. Don't look back, because I'm telling you, it's a mess. And we don't have but a little long, let me see, it's 20 days, maybe 40-something days ago, something like that, 30-something days ago. And it'll be over with. It ain't going to be the last of it, but at least, you know, to get started or whatever. And now we have the vaccinations in, and whoever want to take the vaccinations, you can take them. So that's a blessing that I guess that they're in. I don't think I can take them because I have allergic reaction to bee stings. I just told you that. That's how I found out I was pregnant, because a bee stung me. Yeah, I was sophomore in college. A bee stung me. That's how I found out I was pregnant. But thank God for that bee. All right then, you guys. I'm going to say, stay safe. I love you. Don't forget to like and share my video and subscribe to my channel. This is your lady coming from Anchorage, Alaska. Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Bye-bye.